Next up is House District 3B, which includes the extreme southern portion of St. Louis County, excluding Duluth, and the southeastern corner of Lake County, including the city of Two Harbors. The challenger in this race is Republican Andrew J Hjelle of Hermantown.
Hi folks, my name is Andy Hjelle, and I'm running for Minnesota House District 3B against Mary Murphy in this fall's election. I'm a lifelong Minnesotan and I love our state. This is where we work, play, and raise our families. And that's why I decided to run. To make sure we have a voice in St. Paul who will fight for the citizens of northern Minnesota and make sure our way of life is protected. By trade, I am an insurance agent, and the proudest moments of my job is when I have been able to help put families' lives back together after a devastating loss. With 2020 being the year it is, we need someone who will be able to help put Minnesota back together and get us on the right path forward. I want to use those humbling experiences when I am at the Capitol to work for my constituents and make sure we can get on our feet again. This year we have seen a high need for rural broadband coverage. This is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. With many families remotely learning and working from home, we need to prioritize funding for access to high-speed internet in our rural areas, which I will champion funding for. Talking with voters across the district, I hear worry about public safety in our communities. The rioting and looting we have seen in our state must stop, and if we're not careful, it will happen up here too. When we have DFL candidates call for the defunding of police, it is time for a change in which party is leading the state. These men and women are our friends, family, and neighbors who serve and protect us. I will work to make sure our law enforcement have the necessary training and tools to be able to fully carry out their job. I will stand with our police officers and have their back when they need it most. Minnesota has a long history of supporting unions. I'm a proud Republican supporter, and I appreciate the job our local trade unions do in training our workers and making sure they have good paying jobs. My grandfather got his start with the local carpenters union, where he learned his skills for his career and be able to provide for his family. I'll be a strong voice for our unions and make sure their voice is heard in St. Paul. But in order to have good paying jobs in northern Minnesota, we need to have the economy in order for them to do so. We are still reeling from the shutdown, and we have yet to see the total effects it will have. Our governor's one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially here in the Northland. Our local businesses have been suffering since the shutdown began, and some have even closed their doors for good. And if this continues, more will do the same. Now, more than ever before, we need leadership who will be able to help our businesses get going again, which means supporting projects such as the Line 3 replacement and supporting the Parliament mine on the Iron Range, which will spur great economic growth. This year's election is crucial to making sure Minnesota gets on the right path forward. I am young, energetic, and I am pro-life and pro-Second Amendment. I humbly ask for your vote in this fall's election. Thank you. Have a great day.
The incumbent in House District 3B is Democratic Farmer Labor Party candidate Mary Murphy of Hermantown.
Hello, I'm State Representative Mary Murphy from District 3B. Thank you, voters. Thank you for sending me to the Capitol to be your representative. Over the years that I've served, I've learned to listen. That's the greatest thing. To listen to what the people need and want when they're willing to express it to the legislature. My parents were Depression parents. They were married before the Depression and they lived the Depression. And they had the opportunity to see what government could do. When they were picked for a Jackson Project house that was built by the government of the United States of America, the WPA, the Work Progress Administration, under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They moved into the house that I live in now and have always lived in 1936. Long before my time, of course, but we learned that government was good and government should be helpful. And government addresses the wants and needs of the people of the state of Minnesota. I grew up thinking that Franklin Roosevelt was a house builder because my dad always said, Franklin Roosevelt built this house and that's the way he wants it. We haven't made any additions or changes very much except for a second bathroom, which was very important while we were kids growing up. The kids had the chores. They couldn't play until the work was done. School was and is the center of community of Hermantown and all over the state of Minnesota. And we have to realize that, and we have to make the educational opportunities that our kids need for this next century that we're in. And we haven't addressed that as well as we need. Today we are looking for ways to strengthen our economy. We would like to know what will help get people back to work right now to make our economy strong. We can overcome the pandemic that we are living through. What does government have for kids and families that can strengthen the economy? They have their educational institutions across the state of Minnesota, from early childhood programs to lifelong learning through the libraries of this state and all the counties in the state and the Department of Education system. We have lifelong learning opportunities for training of new workers in the state of Minnesota. Education is our foundation of economic strength in this state. I want opportunity for all people that want it. I want safe communities and safe workplaces for all the people that are coming into the economy. It is important to have a choice between health care, the kind of health care people have. They shouldn't have to make the choices between food or health care or a job. Let us continue to build the Minnesota economy and go forth into the future of Minnesota based on experienced, wise legislators. Thank you so much for your support. And please, one more time, vote for Mary Murphy.